a red card for Van Dijk. Ha 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 ha. Boo-hoo, Van Dijk. Bye-bye. 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 It is not Bambi on ice. It is bye-bye Van Disneyland. Bambi from Disneyland. Isak is down. Last man. Liverpool are absolutely atrocious in the past 2 minutes. 2 minutes and a red card for Virgil Van Disneyland. Fucking disgrace.
I love watching football reaction channels. I love watching fans and listening to fans of respective football clubs or their respective football clubs talk and break down matches and what's happening between the scenes and transfers and players and all those sorts of things. I do enjoy that. I do like the fan channels. I also dislike the fan channels. I like some people on fan channels. I dislike others on fan channels. I'm not here to talk about your big panels and your one man or one woman shows who do their streaming and things like that. You have them in duos as well. Sometimes there's trios or fours. You have your AFTV. You've got the club. I think True Geordie still does this thing. You've got other people like Mark Goldbridge. You have the Big Six, of course. You have those sorts of channels, right? Every Premier League, and there are also leagues from around the world as well. The Italian, the German, the Spanish, etc., French. Every football team, or at least the big major teams, all have their own respective fan channels, and even they don't agree with themselves, pretty much. There's always a disagreement between one group of Liverpool fans and another. There's a disagreement between one set of United fans and another set of United fans, etc. But to get to the point where you are on stream yelling, screaming, shouting, taking your shirt off, ripping your shirt to pieces, going absolutely batshit crazy at winning matches, then losing matches, or losing matches, then winning matches, and things happening within the context of the game, that to me is a little bit of you doing too much, you need to do less. It's funny to see people react a certain way and then they get taken back to reality. It's also funny to see people gas themselves up and gloat and do everything else in between. I get that. But at the end of the day, you just have to take a step back and realize that yes, it is all fun and games, but really, do you want to be known as that person who acts like an absolute goose on camera, pretty much for the likes, the views, and potentially the money? I'm not saying you shouldn't do it for the money, but really, at what point do you say to yourself, okay, I need to stop yelling and shouting and screaming and talking absolute shit about the opposition? Because much like that Newcastle-Liverpool game, when Newcastle were up 1-0, we're playing against 10 men for the better part of 3/4 of that match, to lose it 2-1 at the end in the last 13 or 14 minutes. That to me is funny. Newcastle fans were gassed. They were saying Liverpool were finished, nail in the coffin, etc. Then we come back and we win 2-1 at the end of the game. It's your own team's fault for not dealing with what was put in front of them. It also reminds me when Arsenal last year were playing, I forget who they were playing. They were playing somebody and they were losing the game or they were winning the game, and then one dude ripped his shirt to shreds and was cussing out the entire squad and the opposition because they had lost or they were losing. They ended up losing. I've seen United fans squirm away. I've seen Chelsea fans cut stream, midstream, out of frustration. You can do these things and not have to be over the top. I get it. You're a football fan. I'm a football fan. We are invested in the teams we support, in the clubs, in the leagues, and all that good stuff. But take a step back and just think to yourself, do I really want to be known as the person who rages on stream? Like Mark Goldbridge, his trademark is he'll have a rage and then he'll have some funny saying or something funny to say along with it. Like if Manchester United are not playing well and the opposition just goes straight through, you'll say, oh, you might as well help him with his groceries from Asda or from Lidl or whatever supermarket they have over there. Like if you're accommodating him with all that space, you might as well just, help him with his groceries or things like that. Like that shit is funny. And you get people like Saeed, who's from Manchester United's fan base, where he is so overconfident and then things go bad and then he'll twist it and flip it onto you and say, well, no, that's not what I meant. Let's talk about something else as an example. I do enjoy Saeed. He can be a bit of a waffler. There are many wafflers out there. It's one thing to be confident in the team. It's another thing to talk absolute shit. And it's another thing to be an absolute goose on camera for the clicks and the likes and everything else. Like at the point of not degrading yourself, you are taking that risk of being a lolcow in a football reactionary sense. Anything you say, anything you do, even if you think you are being serious about it, will be laughed at. And the beauty of being able to talk into a microphone, look into a camera, broadcast yourself, that is all good and well. I'm not saying you should not do that. But if you are of the type who's going to be yelling and shouting and screaming and everything else in between, to be over the top, to be obnoxious, to try and get the clicks and the views and everything else, I get it. You need to do what you need to do to grow as a channel. But if that's all you are known for, you will not be taken seriously in any other aspect. If all you're going to be doing is cussing out and talking shit about the opposition, bigging up your own team, not offering any neutral or objective takes or any commentary on the game itself or the opposition or your own team, you will not be taken seriously. It's good to have a laugh. It's good to be a little bit over the top. But at the end of the day, when all's said and done, you need to be able to be rational. You need to be able to put your biases aside and actually show that, yes, I can separate myself as the Liverpool fan and put myself in the position of a neutral football fan, or at least a football fan who may be experiencing what the opposition is experiencing. It's one thing to laugh at the opposition and just take the piss. But if you want to be taken seriously in the online football and community world, my opinion, and my opinion alone, of course, this is me speaking from my own thoughts, you need to be able to not be a douchebag or an over-the-top personality and ground yourself. As a Liverpool fan once said, football is a humbalah, and that is Grizz from the Big Six. Football is a humbalah. Don't let it take you to the extremes, because you will be humbled all the way back down.
Waste, man! Absolute fucking waste, man! Fucking cunts! Fucking cunts! Don't deserve to wear the shirt! For fucking... I'm not wearing the bloody shirt. I'm not fucking shirt anymore, blood.